I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin delivered his farewell address ahead of retirement.
I'm still committed to the DREAM Act, and I hope that you'll join me in that commitment. It was a bipartisan measure, and it should be a bipartisan measure. These DACA people are serving America in so many ways.
The 81-year-old longtime Democrat told state lawmakers he'll miss helping people while also warning about growing political divisions. Primary election day is today, and Los Angeles County has more than 600 vote centers open. Voters can cast ballots in person or drop them off, but officials warn it's too late to rely on mail delivery. And the NBA Finals are set with the New York Knicks facing the San Antonio Spurs in a rematch of 1999. Game 1 tips off Wednesday as the Knicks bring an 11-game win streak while the Spurs enter as favorites. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Then hear us on WBOK1230.com.
Yo, turn it up. It's Gerod on the air, spitting truth in the booth. We ain't going nowhere. New Orleans City got us hard in the beat, but corruption creeping in, gotta take back the street. But corruption creeping in, gotta take back the street. From the French Quarter vibes to the Ninth Ward grind, he's the voice of the people, yo, he's one of a kind. Talking about the struggle, the hustle, the pain, but with each word he drops, he's bringing power to the game. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Try to silence the truth, but he's loud and clear. From the bayou to the block, everyone can hear. Got the people united, it's a movement, no doubt. With his mic in hand, he's breaking all the clout. City eat the official scheming, yeah, they playing it slick. But Gerard's on the line and he's ready to kick. For the schools and the streets, he's fighting the fight. With a heart full of passion, he's igniting the night. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. From the jazz in the streets to the gumbo pot, he's the pulse of the city, giving all he's got. Together we rise, united we stand. With Gerard on the radio, we're taking back our land. So tune in, y'all, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. In the streets to the gumbo pot, he's the pulse of the city, giving all he's got. Together we rise, united we stand. With Gerard on the radio, we're taking back our land. So tune in, y'all, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, tuning out, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it real, keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Gerard on the radio, calling out the lies, bringing light to the dark, keeping hope in our eyes. He's the voice of the people, making changes unfold. In the city of NOLA, we're reclaiming our soul. Yeah, let the truth resonate. With Gerard on the mic, we're rewriting our fate. In New Orleans, the power is ours to embrace. Keep it loud, let's uplift this place. Yeah, yeah.
I was singing bass. Whoa. Ooh. Whoa. I'm finished now.
Woe is me.
And, nah.
Your long intro song already played?
Yeah, it just you was fussing too much.
That's what I told
you missed it all. You
I said,
fussing too
gee.
much.
Had to take a phone call.
her foot is on the brake.
Is this a high chair?
Yeah, you needed a high chair. Short people
How y'all
got.
doing today?
No reason.
I'm gonna be in the high chair today.
You gonna be in the high chair? Look at her sitting in there and her feet swinging.
Just like a driver's license picture.
I know. I'm in a high chair. I'm gonna switch this chair out at a break.
Oh yes, indeed. What's going on, people? Hope y'all having a great day. Cause it's a great day in the neighborhood. What's that coming down the street, Wick?
What is it?
It's got a lot of blinking lights.
It's the petty bus.
It's the petty bus today.
Come on, Negro, let's go.
The petty bus is right here. Guess who driving?
She got a wood
Me.
grain steering wheel.
Huh?
She got a wood grain steering wheel.
That's my new move. Hoping everybody is having a good day. My new superstar, media superstar, is in the building with us. The one, the only, extraordinarily fabulous attorney, Suzette Bagnair.
There's been a lot going on, y'all.
Ooh.
A whole lot going on.
Guess who's gonna be driving the petty bus?
She is.
And guess who's sitting shotgun?
I wouldn't even want to sit.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to sit shotgun.
What you want to do?
I don't want to sit shotgun.
Well, wipe your mouth. You don't want to say that fast. Say that fast.
No. I'm
You
not
said it
falling for
already.
that again.
So I'm like, you really?
That was unintentional.
You don't want to do that on the shotgun?
No.
Oh, Lord. Talk about blowing your
That's
ass
some.
up.
He talk about hemorrhoids.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, well, you know what? I don't know if anybody got a chance to see it. But, of course, Suzette, all over the air, all the television stations. and it's amazing to me that we had to be the ones here on this air. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get a chair where I'm not sitting in a high chair.
Only thing missing is a bib.
This is why I come 30 minutes early to get all
And a
of
bowl
this.
of SpaghettiOs.
I gotta rearrange the furniture.
This is not cute, is
Please
it?
don't start beating up your luggage.
Start. Mhm. Would you like me to help you a little
Carry
bit?
on.
No,
Carry on.
I'll be more than happy to help you.
Carry on.
Come on, just push it
If you
forward.
guys
Just
could
push
be
it-
here to see
You get
this.
to watch me struggle.
Uh-uh.
Carry on.
Well, I watch you
You
struggle.
know this is a live radio show
Oh Lord,
that's
Yeah.
requiring me to move the furniture around.
it's going to be one of those shows.
All right,
You
here we
better,
go.
you better now.
Yes.
Would you like a drink?
Yes.
Like a smoke.
Not Dr. Pepper.
Not Dr. Pepper or Sprite.
Or
Neither one.
Sprite. But
Boy,
anyway.
don't knock Sprite and Crown. That's some
Good
good stuff.
afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
It's been a whirlwind the last 48 hours.
It has been.
It's been a whirlwind every time we open up the door over at the office. But today was not just a whirlwind. It was a tornado. Yesterday was a tornado, hurricane, and a couple of other things involved. But it wasn't because you did anything wrong or I did anything wrong or anybody did anything wrong. It was the fact that we've been dealing with all this crap going on.
High profile cases and reporters just kind of showing up to get comment
Yep.
on what's going on
Every television
on
station.
every television station. We don't even know which case because there's too many cases going on right now that are in the news that we're handling that we have to ask now. Which case are you calling? Are you reporting on?
And then we got to schedule them.
And then we got to schedule them. But I do want to start off since we are driving the petty bus today. I do want to start off by addressing a press release issued by the mayor's office that goes something like this.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Nobody
Oh, Lord.
has worked harder
Gerard, make it
than
disclaimer,
Helena
please.
Moreno to bring environmental justice to the residents of Gordon Plaza who are now living on healthier soil as a result of her tremendous efforts. That's how the media press release goes. Let me give you the response. That is false.
That ain't what you said.
And a tremendous misrepresentation of the facts.
That's what you said.
What Helena Moreno did was be a member of the city council, while Mayor Cantrell received federal funding through the efforts of Troy Carter to purchase homes in Gordon Plaza to put a solar farm there instead of Gordon Plaza homes. They entered into real estate transactions with homeowners in Gordon Plaza, some of which were class members and some of which were not, just to purchase their property in order to put a solar farm there. The documents that the homeowners signed were acts of cash sale and HUD-1s, which if you've ever bought a house, you know that's what you sign. They did not sign receipts and releases. They did not settle their claims. The payments they received had nothing to do with the John Johnson lawsuit. It was not an attempt by the city to resolve their claims. None of those payments went in front of Judge D. Nicole Shepard, who would have had to approve any settlement because it is a class action. So that narrative is absolutely false. They have done nothing to compensate the Agriculture Street landfill claimants. Another thing, Mayor Cantrell, not Mayor Moreno, was going to approve a $90 million bond initiative to pay the outstanding judgments, including the John Johnson case. She confirmed that John Johnson would be paid as one of the unpaid judgments. They promised us that even if the administration changed, the John Johnson claimants would still be paid in 18 months. And then the Moreno administration came into office and said, the deal's off, we're not doing it. So, I've set the record straight. Now we can move on.
Nah, because I want somebody to, we on the petty bus. So I'm just waiting for somebody to say, what you said ain't true. And then I want them to be able to prove it.
I do too, because I have the act of sale document.
Yes.
And the HUD-1 that I've given to 4, 6, and 8 in the Associated Press. So I can prove what I'm saying.
Wow.
I also have a transcript from the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeal where the Tulane Environmental Law Clinic stated that those were just real estate transactions and had nothing to do with the John Johnson case. And I've also given all of that to the reporters.
Ain't it good?
So boot up or shut up. Show me your documents where there's a receipt and release and where you paid any of the Gordon Plaza, Press Park, or Moulton School children, and how you have tried to get them compensated for the John Johnson judgment.
She pointing her fingers. She pointing her fingers, the whole hand.
Not
and
the boot up
she
or
added
shut up.
T.T. Tucker to the conversation.
Not the
Boot up or shut up.
I mean, she made me go from my Hammond organ to my piano.
So I don't know if she was singing a song or was she doing the war cry.
Because she got a boot up or
Boot
shut
up
up.
or shut up.
Prick.
I told you I was on the petty bus. And she let her hair down.
Look, when I come with receipts.
And you better be able to pay for it. Because she got a receipt that she has. Why am I talking like this? Because this done ended up being a sermon. You ain't heard nothing yet. And we're going to get her fired up. We're going to get her fired up some more about this, too. Because yesterday, I got to tell you, yesterday was hilarious, but it wasn't hilarious. Can I tell a story?
Go ahead and tell the story.
So, yesterday when we got off, Channel 4 came over here. And when Channel 4 came over here, you were sitting there doing the little interview and then the young reporter, everybody on there, they with your sermon. Yes.
Baby, I got receipts. I know how to come. I'm going to come with receipts when I come.
But the young lady from Channel 4 came over, and after you said what you said, she said, well, I just happen to have the statement that came from the city.
And I'd like to get your response to it.
And when she read that nobody has worked harder in the administration, harder than she has, my eyes flew open. The cameraman went, oh, hell. And I'm sitting there like this because I know it's getting ready to be some expletives. And I was just wondering, you're going to beat that out. You're going to have to beat that out to play it. But she did well. It's just that the octave of who Suzette is, the octave in her voice, went 100. It went way
I
up.
sat back. I put my hands folded in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I refrained from saying what I wanted to say.
She did good.
And I said, that is a false and misleading statement. And she should be ashamed of herself.
Mm-hmm. Said it. I thought she was going to say
that.
You a lie and your mom's a lie. I thought that was coming, but it didn't. Mm-hmm.
You's a goddamn lie.
Your mom is
That's
too.
what I said but didn't say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because, I think it is very misleading to the public in the context of discussing an unpaid judgment in a class action.
And they put that out.
To start talking about the $35 million paid to the Gordon Plaza residents when you know damn well that was a real estate transaction with an active cash sale and a HUD-1 and not a receipt and release. Anybody who's been involved in a claim with an insurance company knows you have to sign a receipt and a release and waive your rights. And anybody who's been involved in a class action should know that a class action settlement has to be approved by the court. These people know better than what they're saying to the public. They're just trying to mislead people. And this girl ain't having it.
Ain't having it.
I'm not having it. So I gave them all the HUD ones, the acts of cash sale, the transcript where they said it was unrelated. So if you want to say it's a settlement and you wore the white hat and you rode in on the white horse and you tried to get them compensated, you show me where you did it. Because as far as I know, Mayor Cantrell is the one who did the $90 million bond initiative. And she's the one who committed to pay them. And you're the one who reneged.
If you want to ride, come on. Don't ride that white horse.
I'm on to the next subject.
What's
the next subject?
It's the more
Since we're on the petty bus.
It's on the petty bus.
Mm-hmm.
So, guess what's happening?
What's happening?
In the city council.
What's happening?
Somebody said that there was a whole lot of pettiness going on with the city council folks.
Oh, yeah?
Eugene, don't let them punk you, boy. Don't let them punk you. Because Mr. Redbottom said, you a traitor. And I don't think I want you sitting by me no more. And they got his name placard and moved him.
They played musical chairs.
They moved him because Lil Redbottom.
Did they put Eugene in the corner?
They put him in the corner with the dunce hat.
Don't nobody put Baby Green in the corner.
Baby Green was sitting there going, Wah!
Did he take a picture? Because he's good for a picture. Did he take a picture of himself being moved to the corner? Because, Lord, I ain't never seen nobody in as many photos as Eugene Green.
He never took a picture of that. But they moved him and said, we don't want you sitting by us, and tell him how much of a traitor he is and all this. Talking about him and doing the. I was like, wait a minute. Who did that? Who done that? Said it was him. They talking bad about Leslie, saying Leslie is now in that corner with Eugene, calling her a traitor, and said that let me see, who else was it? a couple of folks that said that even Jason got involved.
Oh, so there's
There's
unrest
there's
at the city council. They're not getting along at the city council. Say it ain't so, Gerard.
Nope, it's so. It's so. They went so deaf over there. And Jermaine Dupri ain't even in the building. Mm-hmm.
So Eugene's sitting at the lunch table all by himself.
No, he's sitting at the card table. He didn't even get to the...
Oh, he's at the children's
He
table.
at the children's
He
table?
can't even be at the big table. He's at the children's table.
Hold on, let me make the seat go down.
He got a juice box?
And he's sitting down there like this.
He got a juice box?
He ain't even get the juice box.
Huh.
He ain't even get the Apple Jacks. No bananas.
Well, I need a picture. Eugene, you good for a picture, bro. You always coming to get in the picture. Send me a picture of you at the children's table.
So I want
Gerard.
to know what they talking about.
Gerard, are you sinking low, bro?
No, I sat myself down. I said, if he going to sit at the children's table, I need to be able to sit at the children's table too. So I did. I let the chair down. Mm-hmm.
How
I'm
low
sit at
can
the
you
table
go?
with him just
I
like
was in the high chair a minute ago.
You in the high chair now compared to me. I'm just sitting low. I'm trying to figure out why you done got sent to the card table. You ain't even get sent to the lunchroom table.
So we rode the petty bus.
They gave him
We
a TV
started
tray.
at the mayor's office.
We done went down
Now
to the
we
city
done
council.
drove down to the city council chambers
Oh,
on
we
the
got
petty
some
bus.
more. And we
toot,
got some more.
Toot, beep, beep. Guess where we going next?
Come on, Negro, let's go.
Guess where we going next?
Where we going?
Going straight down the street.
Oh, I was getting ready
Going
to say
down
You
the-
down with OPP?
I was getting ready to say we're going to break.
You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me.
It depends on what that is.
Well, Orleans Parish Prison in this particular context.
So talk about misleading. Talk about misleading. Are you trying to tell me that big old speech that was given, talking about some, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and if you saw everybody that was talking about it on social media, I'm talking about the jail, they were eating the sheriff up. I'm sorry. They ate up about the letting the folks go. And then you blamed it on the system that was from the former sheriff. Well, let's talk about transparency. Because what was not told was that there was more than one time that this has happened.
On her watch.
On her watch. It's
Toot, toot,
twice.
beep, beep,
That's not
toot,
transparency.
toot,
That's not.
beep, beep.
You tooting and beep beeping now?
We on the petty bus.
And throw your sign out. Throw your sign out.
Back door.
In the back door.
Go to break. Please go to break before
Oh,
y'all
you
go
want
any
me to go to break?
deeper.
Oh, I thought you were playing the music for
I
us.
thought you was telling us that we needed to go to break.
We got 10 seconds.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
let's
Well,
go to break. More coming up.
We'll be right back.
New Orleans, are you ready for a voice that says what you're thinking? Who that, you might ask? Arrington Gavin. That's right, I'm your guy, host of The Arrington Gavin Show, giving you so much filled with bold opinions, real conversations, and zero sugarcoating. We're going to be diving into the issues that matter, politics, pop culture, and all the above, unfiltered and unafraid. Catch The Arrington Gavin Show weeknights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Fridays, right here on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Greetings and salutations. I am Edward B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to invite you to tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon on WBOK to listen in on Black to Business and be a part of the movement that's going on. Thank you.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. We on the petty bus. Petty. And we got a whole bunch of stuff that's coming out today. And of course, if you all have seen her, she has been on a whirlwind tour for the last 24 to 48 hours. She's on every television station talking about this issue with the folks with the Gus and talking about what's happening with those folks from the landfill. Suzette Bagnaris, the attorney extraordinaire, putting it on the line for all those folks to let them know this is not the truth.
I'm gonna tell truth to power, whether they like it or they don't like it. And I'm just sick and tired of them trying to pretend and give lip service to them caring about the residents of the Agriculture Street landfill. There are 5,000 people that you have not paid, and you are running from paying them and picking and choosing selectively what you're going to pay instead of paying them.
Can you talk?
And enough is enough.
Can you talk about the lawsuit?
Yeah. So I filed a lawsuit over in federal court alleging that the city has violated the Equal Protection Clause by selectively choosing to pay $6 million to a co-defendant in the John Johnson case, the Orleans Parish School Board, instead of honoring their unpaid judgment list and paying the cases that have been on that unpaid judgment list for 3 decades.
It's been on for 30, almost 35, 40 years.
Absolutely. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And so you have people on there.
And the Moton Elementary kids are now, you said, in their 40s?
They're in their 40s. They were between the ages of kindergarten and 6th grade, 12 years old at the time this happened. And now they're in their 40s and they still haven't been paid. And there's no plan to pay them. And and there was a plan under the Cantrell administration that the mayor is now trying to take credit for, that she had nothing to do with. That was Mayor Cantrell, who was going to do a $90 million bond initiative to clear the city's debt and pay off a lot of those unpaid judgments. And now Helena Moreno's administration is saying they're not honoring that agreement. Well, the suit that I have filed is to bring transparency to that, to find out why they're not honoring their unpaid judgment list, following their own policy, and paying the judgments in the order in which they were confected. So, enough is enough. How long do these people need to wait? Are they waiting for them all to die before they decide to pay their children and their grandchildren? Because that's what's happening. So that's what that lawsuit is about. That's what the reporters came and asked questions about. And in response, the mayor's office wants to issue this misrepresentation, this statement that nobody has done more than her to champion their cause.
I think that pissed you off more than anything.
Oh, absolutely. How do you tell somebody who's been working on a case for 34 years?
Right.
Probably, close to when she was born.
And some of these,
that nobody has done more than she's done.
And you've seen and probably heard just as much, because they call you. I know when they call you, they letting you know, hey, look, my mom, my dad, or my grandparents, or whoever they died.
They died. Those calls are so hard to take because I know these people. They're not just numbers to me. Mm-hmm. Okay? And to hear a relative call or say, hey, my mom passed this year and she was really hoping that she would live to see her money, that is heartbreaking. And I can't tell you how many calls we get like that. Those people lived on a toxic waste dump. They were exposed to 49 cancer-causing agents. They lived there for decades being exposed. They're dying like flies, and the city is running from paying them. But all the while trying to pretend like they're championing their cause. Yeah. Girl, bye. Save that for somebody else who's going to listen to that. I am not hearing it.
Mm-hmm. And you told it well. So it's going to be on again tonight on ABC 26. For those of you that want to see it, make sure you watch the news tonight on ABC 26. We need to say thank you to Ashley. Ashley! What's happening, girl? Ashley Hamilton, the reporter extraordinaire, wanted to know from A to Z how this thing worked. And then the other thing, too, that I think is, and I really think that we are, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. And it's a slap, but it's not a slap. Listen to me. I think it's disingenuous, too, to send reporters to cover a story and they don't know what they cover.
They're not old enough to know, and it's not their fault. Let me tell you something.
It's not.
It's a 3-decade long case. I think I have beaten Moses' record. Moses shepherded people through the desert, for 30 years, 40 years, I think it is. I'm close. I'm competing with Moses at this point, having a case going on for 34 years.
This is Moses, ladies and gentlemen. Moses.
Mosette.
Moses.
Mosette Bagnaris. I mean, this is ridiculous.
No,
I mean,
the way you've been telling this story, no, you Moses.
Nobody should handle a case for 34 years and not be able to get their clients compensated when they have won. They owe us $75 million, ladies and gentlemen. $75 million.
So let's put this in perspective, because this is a very important part of this. And I think that folks will understand a little bit better why you're making not an accusation, but putting together this lawsuit to say, hold up, y'all need to know something. This is not right. And here's the reason why. It's because when you have, and this is the standards of the city, when you have some type of issue with the city, don't they supposed to take it in order?
Yes.
And they've been skipping over this case to pay out their debts.
They have been paying things that aren't even judgments. That's the problem. And in terms of the school board, they've been selling off school board assets,
right,
liquidating them into cash, and still not paying the Moulton school children. The unpaid judgment list is on a spreadsheet, and it lists every case that the city owes money on. And I have that list, and I gave that list to the reporters that came by to discuss this case. And the judgments go back to 1990. 1990, okay? And there are various amounts. They list the attorneys, some of which the attorneys are now dead. Okay, I'm looking at names on this list of attorneys who are no longer with us, who are on the unpaid judgment list. And these judgments go back to cases filed in 1990 that the city of New Orleans has not paid. There's a total of 436 cases on that list as of 7/17/2025, when this list was given to me.
And that was 25.
And that was 7/17/25. I'm sure there's more now.
Yep.
But, they're just being a deadbeat citizen. Where else? If I had a judgment filed against me, they would be seizing my house to pay it.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't seize government assets. They have to do an allocation to pay it. So, I mean, you ought to see all the people on here who have not been paid for various lawsuits that they filed. And some of the cases they owe as little as $1,000. Some of the cases they owe as little as $250. But some of these judgments are multi-million-dollar judgments. I'm looking at one of our judgments, one of the times we were on the list, $37,661,727.86. That's the judgment in the landfill case that was issued on 6/10/2022. But I'm on here 3 times, so the total is $75 million.
$75 million and nothing.
Nothing.
Not a partial payout.
And she don't call and she don't write. She don't communicate at all.
But whenever there's a camera.
Oh, she's on her Instagram every night talking about some BS in the city. But she can't pick up a phone to talk about this.
You hot as fish grease.
Yes, I am, because it's not right, Gerod. These people have been mistreated for 3 decades. Not to mention the fact that their homes were built on a toxic waste dump where nobody should have lived in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And then to go on.
And then they couldn't get to their property.
And the Press Park people are still paying property taxes on property they can't even access.
Now.
Right now. Still paying property taxes on property they own that they cannot access because it's behind a fence that Hanno put up.
That's terrible.
And let's be clear, I'm not just talking about the city. I'm talking about the city, I'm talking about Hanno, and I'm talking about the Orleans Parish School Board. Hanno got these big, beautiful offices on Poydras Street in New Orleans East. Oh, they're taking care of themselves, but they're not taking care of people.
And they spend a lot of money to get those offices up to par.
Absolutely. Enough is enough. I have the list, and I have given it to all the reporters. So stop being a deadbeat. Pay your debts.
That's just like malfeasance to me.
It is malfeasance. Maybe the governor should come remove them all for malfeasance in office.
I mean, because something's wrong with that. I mean, how do you have this much of where people have died of cancer? People are dying of old age.
At the very least, be fiscally responsible and take out an insurance policy for people who get injured as a result of the city's conduct.
Because the city
now,
does not have
and in the future, they have no insurance. Get insurance. At least do that.
How come the city doesn't have insurance?
At one point, the city did have insurance. And at one point, when I first started practicing, they did pay debts. Okay? Now they don't. So now, that piece of paper is worthless. Because they don't pay their debts. So maybe the governor needs to come remove some people for malfeasance in office. Because to me, this is grossly negligent conduct.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's gross. Well, speaking of the governor, I'm glad you brought it up since we're on the petty bus.
Toot beep beep. Where we going now?
So to let everybody know today that we've been reading for the last couple of days that the NAACP, the state NAACP, has asked Jay Morris, the senator who put all that fluff in those legislative bills that we have heard about. The NAACP is now making it known that they have asked him to step down. Mike McClanahan, who is the head of the NAACP state NAACP, is going to join us today after 5 o'clock to give us the details on what's that going to be.
I look forward to hearing that conversation.
So he'll be on the phone with us out of Baton Rouge at 5 o'clock today because we need to get the information that's on the petty bus. So we had a lot of petty bus today, but I could not believe some of the stuff that I've heard in the last 48 hours, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Come on, city. We got to do better than this.
We're hearing there's unrest over there at the prison.
Yep. Not only unrest, they stabbing folks.
That's what I'm saying. There's civil unrest going on over there. Things seem to be a little out of control. And then we're hearing there's more than one inmate that got released and that's been hidden from the public.
Yep.
You promised transparency. You
Yep.
called the prior sheriff incompetent. Here we are. I don't know what to say about that. But I mean, look, there's plenty of places that we can stop this petty bus today.
Stop it.
Different stops along the way.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like get off of it. Let's not do it no more.
Oh, no. I mean, there's plenty places we can drive today because what I'm seeing right now is just really unbelievable that this is how we are operating.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we are operating a city. This is how we are operating government entities within the city. I just don't understand it.
Incompetence. That's the word of the day on the petty bus. Watch how you daggone use things and say things because it might come back to bite you. And I can hear somebody saying, ow, right now. Ow. Ow, girl. Ow. I'm sorry.
Maybe they shouldn't be so quick to go stand in front of cameras and make statements.
Nope.
When they're not being very transparent. Because these things are leaking out and coming out, and people are now calling them out. So maybe they should not run to go sit in front of a camera and give a false statement anymore.
And try to make yourself look better.
Right.
Than somebody else that was doing it. And I was telling Susan, I said, for the next 2 years, you're going to be the poster child for this organization and what's going wrong. And she said, no, I don't think that's true. I said, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. The paper has also invited us to be a part of the conversation piece. And I'm talking about everybody. When they wrote the story about Calvin what's his name? Calvin Duncan will not be taking office. The governor signed the bill to get rid of him altogether. So he will not be taking office.
And no surprise that the conservative Louisiana Supreme Court upheld that decision to remove him from office.
Yep. Now, I'm not going to make any big bones about it, but I am going to tell you, I was a little stressed about a decision that was made by, and I don't know if it was Calvin or if it was his camp, but the decision to tell me, of all people, who have been in this air chair talking about this story from a perspective of a black man, not even as a reporter, but as a black man, you would have the audacity to tell me that you're not going to have a conversation with black media because you say we hadn't support you. And I was like, what? Now they don't want to do an interview with you because they saying that, y'all didn't support him. I was trying to figure out, and I've still been trying to figure out, have we not? Really? If I got to ask, and I got to go to other people and ask, did we support or not support Calvin Duncan? And if we didn't, please tell me how. Because we made it a point that everybody make sure that pay attention because this is what's going to happen. As a matter of fact, I even went to Grace Church right there on Canal Street and watched Calvin as he was the guest speaker before he even knew who I was, because I wanted to get the information. It was a Sunday morning, and I had my own church I needed to be at, but I went with the sheriff to church to hear Calvin Duncan speak about his issues, the book he wrote, what he was going to do. Now, this is even before he even announced that he was going to run for office. And then to have the audacity to have your friends tell me that black media didn't support you. So let me, by one chance only, go ahead on and break this down. It's very seldom in any media, whether it's black, white, purple, green, or Barney, that's purple, that you hear any media say, we gonna support you. Now, you can hear newspapers saying we're going to endorse you, but you don't have radio stations that endorse folks. Why would I put myself in a legal bond or legal battle by saying, oh, yeah, by the way, we support you, when we wanted to interview you before you even announce? Second of all, as a radio station, I have to uphold the rules by the FCC that state if you take a candidate and bring them on the air and let them do all they need to do on the air, and you don't invite the opponent, that could end up being a $10,000 fine. I don't have no money to give these rich men over here no money because I violated the law. So if you don't know the law, for you to make those statements, that's kind of asinine. And I say it what I say it.
That's a what?
Asinine on the petty bus. More coming up, folks. Everybody hold tight.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com. Looking for a great deal on your next phone? Come see us at your locally owned AT&T store for the latest Samsung and iPhones. Visit us at 3616 South Carrollton Avenue. We have great offers on watches, tablets, accessories, and internet service. Whatever your connectivity needs are, our team is here to help you keep connected. Visit us today at AT&T, 3616 South Carrollton Avenue. Locally owned and proudly giving back to the community.
Well, Saints of God, this is Pastor David Impartan Sr. coming to you over the airways of WBOK, your favorite host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want to invite you to our show every Saturday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. That's Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want you to invite your family and friends to a broadcast that's designed to change your life, the way you think, the way you act, and what you eat. We want you to tune in every Saturday at 1 o'clock, WBOK, 1230 a.m. See you on Saturday.
Hey, Pontchartrain Park. Thanks for listening to WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Our number 504-582-9422. Hey, Ron. Hey, Ron.
You can hear me?
There he is. What's happening with you?
All right, you can hear me. Y'all can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah, you back in the city in the state. Where you at now?
Oh no, I'm in we
Turn
in
them up.
Dallas.
Turn
for
them up.
the,
We can barely hear.
Anthony trial.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
Oh no, you can hear me better now.
There you go.
All right, I'm in we up in Dallas for the Carmelo Anthony trial out here in Frisco, Texas.
Carmelo Anthony.
Yes, that's the young brother who was allegedly murdered the Austin Metcalf at the soccer game. At the track meet last April.
Oh yeah, that's Carmelo's son, the basketball player's son.
Oh, that's Carmelo Anthony's son?
Yeah, that's what I
No, I don't
understood.
think so, huh? No, I ain't seen no Carmelo Anthony out here.
Oh, I thought that was his son.
I hadn't heard that one either, but you got the same
they got
name.
the same name. They got the same name. Yeah, I think the other Carmelo with him, I think he ain't spelled with a C. The young brother name spelled with a K.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, but before I get on, with that, I just first of all thank y'all from how y'all. Well, hold on, we going too fast. First, shouts out to the Fatherhood Roundtable and the Hippie Duke Gun Club. You heard me? But thank y'all from starting off the show in the manner in which that you started it off. And also, well, first, me extraordinaire. It's a difference when you come to the table with receipts, because that eliminates all, emotional discharge. You feel me?
Absolutely.
If you get what I'm saying. G, what you just said just now about, before you went to break, that's that needed to be said, because guess what? Everybody that's in the news right now got something going on. They did a disservice to the people, and each and every one of them, and it's going to be more. Let's make that part there.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. Some of these people who
they need to be exposed.
Yeah, exactly. They're about to be
exposed.
They're gonna lose their
people
job
in our
too.
community, we get caught up with all that symbolic stuff. Oh, he's the the first black this. Matter of fact, we had a conversation with a sister yesterday about politics up here in Frisco. Now they was so excited about getting this the brother man elected up here, because they haven't had a black person in the seat for over 152 years. See, we caught up in it haven't happened in 152 years, you dig? But what is he doing, though? Just getting him in there because he's the first black. You know what I'm saying? That's not enough, And sometimes that's where we fall short at. We take feelings and emotions and put that over reality, which is why we get stuck with style instead of substance. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just had to get that off there.
Okay.
So, because Mama Suzette, it's a lot of people that thought they knew what was going on with that case. Like, say, you been doing this for over 30-some years, so you don't know of the case, you know the case. you know?
Right.
And then, G, what you was talking about, that rumor about, y'all ain't want to support him. Man, come on, man, you supposed to know better. And also, instead of you saying that you should have went to the people who you had the issue with, taking go and spread, discord, because you make the people have to pick a side. Well, you force them to have to pick a side. So truth is everything. And like say, trying to hurry up. It's a lot more people gonna be exposed for all the ignorant and stupid stuff they're doing, especially when you know better.
Mm-hmm.
You did? Y'all sits in seats of power, and y'all been doing the people a disservice for too long. But what's bad on our part, instead of us finding out what the truth actually is, we go off of what somebody told us their version of the truth is. That's what we gotta stop doing. Every time somebody say something, we quick to go run off without doing our homework, without educating ourselves on.
So my mama always told me, though, Ron, that, there's your side of the story, there's my side of the story, and in the middle, there's somewhere in the middle, there's the truth.
The truth. Not my version of the truth, not your version, the truth.
Yep.
But some of us got a bad habit of, adding a little extra to make it sound juicy. And,
there was an experiment that was done where they started a rumor or was telling a story at the beginning of a line, a very long line.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of those persons standing in the line was responsible for telling the person behind them what was said.
Mm-hmm.
And it said by the time it got to the end of the line, it was a whole nother story that had been told. I'm like, boy, this is something here.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, man, y'all keep on doing y'all thing and keep y'all heads up and look, even with y'all too, you know what I'm saying? Just by the mere stuff with y'all exposing, you know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all, keep y'all heads on straight. I'm not saying y'all doing what y'all ain't supposed to be doing, but when they label you like a leader, you know what I'm saying? They do certain things to certain, like, I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm saying. When you go through the airport, there's this thing called a random check if they want to check you randomly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people got to go in the room every time on a random check, while some people just get on the plane with no problem.
All the time.
Sense?
I've seen that myself. They seem to stop all the people of color, but they don't stop the other people going through.
It's a random check, though, but the same people get stopped every time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, a random check.
All right, Aaron, y'all be careful out there, brother.
Yeah, you're right, my man. Peace.
I hit you. All right. Dono.
Hello?
What you say?
Man, I was looking at the news. The city is trying to get another $110 million bond.
It's trying to what?
That bond, we just bonded about almost $200 million,
Hold on, let me let Suzette have this one because she got a hand on the hip right now. She knew it already though. Let me let her go ahead on.
That's why I called.
I'm gonna sit back in the corner.
I didn't know they were trying to do that.
Yes, you did. We just talked about it.
No, that was under the Cantrell administration. They were trying to get a $90 million bond to pay their unpaid judgments.
No, they're trying to get the $10 million.
Right. Then they told me that they were not going to do that anymore. Now we're hearing there's another attempt to try to get a bond.
For $10 million.
$110 million.
Mm-hmm.
This what I wanted to say also is why she wasn't up there in the legislature. Up there in the legislature, trying to get some money for New Orleans. We pay a lot of taxes, and much of the money go to the state. We should be up there trying to hustle to get some money. The former mayor did it. Why she wasn't up there?
And it took her one day, didn't it?
There trying to get some money.
And didn't it take her like one day? Cantrell took her like one day to go up there and get it.
She got some money?
I think she did.
Well, what's the $10 million bond for? Maybe to pay off the debt.
It would be nice. I hope they're trying to get a bond to pay off their debt. It would be very nice. And it would be very timely. I haven't seen that in the news yet, but I'm going to go look for that.
Yeah, well, I just saw it. I said, let me call and let them know it was in the news, $110 million.
Well, and what station did you see that on? Do you remember?
On Channel 4.
Okay, I will be looking for that.
You know.
I will be looking for that. Thanks. Good looking out. Thanks for letting me know.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
All right, now no. So there are so many different things though in this city that makes me go, because remember, we just voted that 2% of the balance as far as the budget is concerned for the city of New Orleans, 2% of it is supposed to go to housing. So I think what was being fought by a lot of the housing advocates is it's hard to try to get that money when you're breaking up and saying, here's your city budget, here's your city budget, here's a piece of your city budget. Is that going to be considered a piece of the budget that is just a piece of the budget instead of a bond? I wonder. We'll see. Because I know you got quiet, so I know that's hell to pay.
I'm just listening. I'm just listening to the callers. I'm just listening to what the people have to say. I'm also reading this Supreme Court decision with respect to Calvin Duncan. And one of the dissents written by Justice Weimer is pretty good. He said the action by the legislature to abolish a public office before the person elected to that office can assume the duties of the office makes a mockery of the electoral process by completely obliterating the constitutional effectiveness of the people's vote. While the legislature undeniably has the right to abolish the position of the clerk of Orleans Criminal District Court by way of the Louisiana Constitution, this must be done prospectively to avoid violating one of the most sacred and fundamental rights in our system of government, the people's right to choose who will serve in an elected office. So basically what he's saying is if you wanted to enact that law, then you couldn't disenfranchise Calvin Duncan. You could do it for the future, but you can't do it retroactively and apply it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he cites to Thomas Paine, the right to vote is right upon which all other rights depend. He cites to Abraham Lincoln, elections belong to the people. It's their decision. He cites to a lot of people and a lot of support for the argument that they should not have disenfranchised Calvin Duncan.
They ain't listening, though.
Nope.
They ain't listening. They couldn't wait to sign it.
Couldn't wait.
All right, y'all, we'll take a break here. We'll be back in just a minute. Everybody hold tight because we got Mike McCallahan coming up, who's president of the state NAACP. We want to know what's going on. More coming up next, right here on WBOK.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Texas Republicans are targeting Democrat James Tallarico's voting record as he runs for Senate.
He voted to defund police. He voted for DEI in public schools.
That's Governor Greg Abbott, who says his past votes are out of step with voters, while Democrats point to a growing population as a path to expand support. Black Maryland Governor Wes Moore is directing state agencies to respond to an agricultural crisis after severe freeze and drought conditions. Officials say the damage threatens food security and economy, with plans for emergency loans, irrigation efforts, and support for farmers. And Birmingham, Alabama's Black Mayor Randall Woodfin has unveiled a proposed $614 million budget for fiscal year 2027. The plan includes raises for city workers, along with increased funding for road repairs, public safety, and public transit. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Our number, 504-582-9422. I have had this same question ever since this was announced, and we kind of knew that there was something going on. And Suzette, I still have to ask that question. If we have all these things that are wrong with New Orleans, watch how you throw that rock when you living in a glass house. And I've been wondering why nobody from our delegation has said we need an investigation on this senator that wants to do damage to our system.
I think this particular senator is a pawn. What I think we saw was horse trading. He wanted a data center in his neck of the woods, and Governor Landry wanted to obliterate black political power in Orleans Parish.
Mm-hmm.
So they horse traded. Landry maneuvered to let him get his data center, and he served as a pawn for Landry to obliterate black political power here in Orleans Parish.
So I
think they were horse trading.
So there's been some private talk on how we're going to get this and what I can get out of it.
Look, these guys are cutting backroom deals all the time. They're cutting them on the golf course. They're cutting them at the country club. You know, they're cutting them at the bar convention right now in Destin. You know, this is what they do. So I think that's the play. It's kind of obvious. It's about money. It's about power. It's about who controls it. So, you know, in order for Jay Marks to get that data center in his neck of the woods, which put a lot of money in his personal pocket, as we've learned from the ethics investigations, or what should be an ethics investigation, that he bought the land where the data center is going to sit before the data center went there. You know, clearly he had an interest in getting the data center up and running, and the governor had an interest in hurting the people of Orleans Parish and obliterating a black political base.
Obliterating it.
I mean, look, they are taking a chunk out of every part of it that they can take a chunk out of. They're trying to dismantle the clerk's position, the criminal clerk, which they were successful in doing. They're trying to now get rid of some of the black judges, because we have too many black judges here in Orleans Parish. Most of the black judges in the state are coming from Orleans Parish. They want to reduce that number. Then they put into effect laws that they can remove people for what they perceive to be incompetence or malfeasance in office. You know, they're definitely coming for our black political power structure here in Orleans Parish.
And Jason, our district attorney,
he's at risk.
Is at risk.
He's at risk. He needs to realize it. You know, and then next they may say we have too many justices on the Louisiana Supreme Court, and they'll take Piper Griffin off. He's the only black judge there.
Last to come, first to go.
Right. Okay. I mean, look, this is the move. This is the move. And then they're paralyzing people. Some of these people are now too afraid to speak out because they fear if they speak out, they'll be next.
All right. What you say, Ms. Jones?
Oh, good afternoon to you all and to the audience that's listening. Two things. New Orleans bring all that money here. We need to just stop it. Parading for Carnival, anything. Essence Festival, Second Line, which has gotten all out of order, bringing it to the French Quarter, it didn't belong there. Just stop it. All the stuff that brings money here, just stop it. And as for the consolidating these positions, well, we know we need more rather than cutting loose, because you have so many cases going on since Orleans Parish is much bigger. But I project this, that they want to have it where they don't care. They wouldn't go through a process anyhow. Just throw them in a slammer. And the ultimate thing is to enslave people, our people. I had an article I wish I could share with you all from 1995 and look like it is happening exactly the way they say.
All right.
They would do worse than they did with Calvin Duncan. Can't find records, and that is real. that is for real because I know some people 25 and 50 years for something they didn't do. And this goes way back. And even as not maybe but 20 years ago, 20, 25, they accidentally on purpose lose records. They'll probably just throw them out. Don't have to worry about the processing.
Okay.
And
All right,
people
Ms. Jones.
need to just, we emphasize just stop catering and giving all the attention that brings money here to the city.
All right.
We don't have anything to lose. We don't get anything anyhow. So we don't win. Nobody else gets it.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jones. We got to take these other calls. Appreciate you, dear.
Okay.
All right.
You're welcome.
Galloway.
What's going on, Brother Gerard?
What's happening with you?
What's going on, Council?
I am hanging in there.
Well, I ain't going to keep you long and I ain't going to tell you nothing wrong. But I can tell you this. You talked about that $90 million bond. The New Orleans City Council voted on July 10th to approve that payoff. So you mean to tell me they approved the payoff and they were going to pay it through tax revenue bonds? That was in 2025 and they were supposed to do the bond again in 2027. So none of that is happening right now.
None of that is happening now, per the CAO Giarusso. He told one of my colleagues, who's one of my co-counsel in the landfill case, that all bets are off on that because of the city's budget woes. Now, we were promised that they would be paid in 18 months from that initiative. We posted it on our firm's website. We gave notice to the clients that they could finally expect to be paid. The city attorney gave us all the documentation to show we were clearly going to be in the number of judgments to be paid, and now they were nigging.
Now, my thing is, if they voted to approve this, they stamped it, mayor signed it, all that stuff, now they just saying, no, we're not going to do it now. When were they going to let the public know that they voted on an issue to pay people and you're not going to get your money? Because, see, if it wasn't for your work and your investigation and your dealing, I wouldn't have known that because I was thinking that these folks are waiting on that money. The money's in the bag. They're going to use these bonds to get it.
No, sir.
So, Talita, you lied again. But you know what, though? I'm going to get off here when I say this. You need $90 million? Talita, go sit on jail lap again. Galloway, up out of here.
All right, Galloway. Yes, indeed. All right, joining us now, because we got to have this conversation, too. Joining us now, a man that has spent 30 years or more working on local, state, and national campaigns before he was elected as the Baton Rouge NAACP branch president and also state conference president for the state of Louisiana. My friend, Mike McClanahan, is on the phone with us. How you doing, sir?
There's no rest for the weary.
Oh.
And I appreciate being on this call with you all.
Man, you got some stuff going on up there in Baton Rouge. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Y'all don't know Mike carry a gun. They don't know they don't know you carry a gun.
There's always something going on, man.
What in the world is going on with the state of Louisiana? I guess I'll start with that way. And I also got my co-host here, Attorney Suzette Bagnaris.
Yeah, okay, yes, Suzette. Look, so Louisiana is a big plantation. Baton Rouge is the microcosm of the bigger plantation. And so you got slaves and slave owners. You got people that look like us that own slaves, treat slaves bad. There's a whole bunch of stuff, man, that's coming to light. A lot of times these things are covered under darkness. When the light comes, it shows where all the people in the bodies are located.
I basically said to myself, are these folks serious? Is this Trump part 2? Because it sounds like and looks like that our governor is just following the basic plan with what's happening on a national level.
I say this all the time. I've been saying this for years. Louisiana, when they're all parts of the country talk about whatever, I tell people they ain't gonna work in Louisiana because Louisiana is actually a plantation. What we're doing now is interacting with these grandkids and great grandkids of the slave masters and the KK Klan people. It's all that's here now. Mm-hmm. It never left. When they talk about getting rid of slavery, we come up with Jim Crow. So there's always something to keep the citizenry, the black citizenry, black and brown citizenry of Louisiana down. There always is.
I got to ask this question because one of the things we figured out was with the NAACP asking Jay Morris to step down and resign. How come that the delegations, including the Black Caucus, NAACP, SCLC, ABCDEFG, have not asked this man to step down because he's doing stuff that's unethical with this data center? He's buying the property, him and his friends, and reselling it to them because he's got inside information. You would think as a senator that, okay, if you had to be someone who was elected, if you're a senator, if you're a state rep, and you're knowing that this man is going against black people and he's writing and putting together maps that's gerrymandered and getting rid of the second black delegation or the black district, he's against us. So why are we not firing back?
Well, I can tell you from the NAACP's viewpoint, I can't speak to no one else. We not only target him, because what we don't want to get lost in the shuffle is that he's sometimes a smokescreen, because when he's out, people are looking at him. The other cats, man, are doing just as worse. They passing legislation. They're standing up for rights for taking us back 60, 70, 100 years. So, the scheme, they have a big plan. One thing that I don't appreciate is that none of us gets to the table to come up with a strategy to continue to fight these, but move us forward. I was just looking at, someone sent me a post about the session ended on last night, but a couple of the white legislators that we've been fighting all along was eating and drinking and being married with the caucus. I'm like, you mean tell me I walked around, went advocated, put my life on the line for them to have a beer? No, I'm just not that type of guy. I don't think they should be either, though.
Well, Mike, I have a question along those lines from the NAACP standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Black Americans are not a monolithic politically, economically, or ideologically. But in this moment, what do you believe are the core issues that can still unite and galvanize Black America into a common platform? What do we still agree on as Black Americans that we can make an agenda item to move us forward?
Okay. The one thing, good question, too. The one thing that I've been saying all along is that there's strength in numbers. I don't care what it is. I don't care. And it should be health care is something that we should be able to agree on. I've been saying this for years. I went around the state about 3 years ago advocating for the Black agenda. I met with Black CEOs and legislators, and we would talk for that day. But when we leave, I would call them. They're like, "Oh man, I forgot about it." Yeah, that was that. I'm like you. I said, let's put one or two items down on the table, and let's keep moving.
That's what I want to know. I mean, in talking to people on this radio show every day, I am finding that as Black Americans, we are getting farther and farther apart from one another, and not agreeing on more and more things. But there have to be some things that we can agree on and make a Black agenda and put our numbers behind for the betterment of our people. I agree with you. Healthcare is one of them. Civil rights should be a no-brainer.
But one thing you said, though, Suzette, I have to repeat, and that is, you said on this show as well as in the office that you just had a grandbaby. And your grandbaby is going to have less civil rights than you had.
He already does have less civil rights than I had coming up. So I guess I'm asking from the NAACP's standpoint, do you all have in writing a Black agenda that the NAACP as a national organization is standing behind and asking Black Americans to galvanize behind? And then after that platform, is there a plan for implementing the platform that we can then share with our listeners on WBOK?
I can tell you, no. What the president and the board has done is allowed the committees, health, education, economic development to kind of step out and kind of galvanize, people around those issues. I can tell you that outside of that, there's none. I can also tell you that when we speak out, there are so many issues. There are so many people that won't come to the table because they're afraid it's our idea. I tell them, nothing my idea. I only advocate what's best for us. And if somebody can come around and sit down and say, "Look, let's go," you don't have to put the NAACP's name on nothing. Not at all. If that's going to bring us together, though. But I can tell you, just because when they hear NAACP, sometimes that'll scare them off or run them as opposed to drawing them to us.
Well, we often mobilize as a black people around outrage after something happens. For example, the Black Lives Matter movement coming out of the beating of and killing of a black man, George Floyd. But what, in your view, are the long-term issues that black Americans should consistently unite behind beyond election cycles and black people getting killed by the police? I mean, we have to have some sort of written agenda and a plan to implement it. And if not coming from the NAACP, can the NAACP get with the Urban League and get with the National Bar Association and the D9 organizations to draft a black agenda that we can then implement?
Okay. So to answer your question, I said earlier, I went around the entire state, Shreveport, Monroe, Alexandria, Lake Charles, getting these people in a room. And I think then might not have been the time, because when I would do follow-ups, there was nothing, right?
Right.
But the other part to this is economic development. King said at some point in time it becomes economic. And we should, because we are the economic drivers of this country, of this state, but we don't understand the power that we have in our dollars. That's one. Education. I've been saying this for years. Education has always been the key to upward mobility. And so they've decimated our education system, and then they've drawn the line into how we can get access to capital. So if we get those two things, I believe, but the other part to this is, sister, is that I said there may be some things that get people excited, and you're right, because we're emotionally driven. When schools close down, hospitals close down, neighborhoods are overgrown, beat up, police, those things should drive us, but it doesn't. We look at stuff and see how bad could it look before we act upon something. Mm-hmm. I thought we should have been acting years ago, but we want to see it fall down to the ground and become rusty.
Well, I think that we have got to do something, because it looked like we are hot game. We're the game. We are getting hunted down and taken out one by one. And some of this issues that I'm seeing, especially in Louisiana, Mike, I got to tell you, I've never seen it like this. And it looks like we're just following the ploy of what the president of the United States is doing. And this man is wanting to be Lil Trump.
If we can't develop a national agenda, we at least have to develop a statewide agenda, because, boy, we are losing our rights right and left.
Yep.
So I'm always willing and willing to sit down with anyone, because the problem that we have, too, is if you have 5 of us in a room, 4 of us have hidden agendas. To have 5 of us in a room, 3 to 4 have hidden agendas. We can't get anything accomplished because, our minds aren't there yet. Mm. I was at the Capitol, and in Tennessee's and the legislators, they were rioting inside. They wouldn't care about no decorum of that institution, because the institution mean nothing to us when you're trying to take things away from us, right? In Louisiana, they were thought they was being quiet. I'm like, hell no, we're at war. With the decorum, we're at war. I'm not going to sit there and say, hey, brother, you my friend. No, I'm going to cuss you out. I'm going to kick your wherever that A means. Mm. But we're not there yet.
What's wrong with these Negroes? Not what's wrong with them. We already know what's wrong, but I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with us.
Oh, man, our minds ain't there. We think so. The other point that I say this, the black middle class is the impediment to black liberation. the black middle class is the impediment to black liberation. The black middle class is the impediment to black liberation.
Why do you believe that?
My for no more. Because the rights you said that we fought, we gained. I don't need to fight anymore. I got a decent job.
I've
drive
arrived.
a decent car. I live in a decent neighborhood. My kids go to any school they want, any store they want, drive whatever they want, and I'm fine. It's okay.
So I have arrived.
Arrived, and they don't know the goalpost or the finish line has been moved.
Yeah.
But the constant battle, man. You know, we battle within ourselves, and so what I've done too, just I don't do a lot of, go out to a lot of those functions, man, because I'm a real guy. You know, I ain't gonna fake it till I make none of that kind of stuff. It is what it is. So, but I'm always willing.
So we need to be finding, and this is one of the things I think is very important. And I know you can't be as an organization as political as some of us can, but we need to be noting some of these folks that we need to see be able to take some of these positions, and folks will vote for them. Not no jokers. I mean some real serious folks, and identify who they are that will help us. And I'm tired of seeing these folks that are black, white, or any other race stand up and not support the fact that black people do have money, we do have power, and the only time we really get into a position of usefulness in politics is when somebody's behind and needs somebody to come up and so they can get some more numbers.
Oh, yeah. You're spot on, brother. You know, I was just thinking about those same lines the other day. But the other part to this is, I'll reach out to, like you talk about the Urban League, those organizations are right here with us. Right here. We ought to be able to do something. They're right here. But for some reason, the other part to this is that we do not bring on young people. We don't bring on the 30 and 40 years, because I'm 61, about to be 62. We don't bring on those people. Let them come in. Let's utilize their talent.
What we
don't
scared
do that
of?
at all.
What we scared of?
Yeah, and we're at war. I'm bringing up my mama died. I'm bringing her spirit
But we're
back
at
on.
war with no war plan. Like
Well,
nobody goes to war without a strategy meeting, a written plan to implement. And I'm very troubled that we have no compass, no direction.
Because we go into a gunfight with a knife,
with a plastic knife,
with a butter knife. So,
but the other part of this is there are maybe a few of us that understand, but trying to get the masses. That's where you're trying to get the masses.
Well,
and
Mike, I know we talked about this before, but I think it's about time, man. We sit down as a radio station, as the NAACP. Call Mark Morial with the Urban League. Call the folks at LeBan with the SCLC, and we need to have a strategy meeting on what's going to happen in the future. I'm talking about now, about what's going to happen.
If we don't do it with some urgency to us,
and they got
we're
plans.
We're gonna be picking cotton in a field pretty soon.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm feeling it now. I live in Louisiana. I'm feeling it now.
If we don't get a think tank together and put together a plan soon, we are in trouble. The house is on fire.
Yeah. And they just doing what they want to do. So I'm going to have to make some calls, my friend, and see what dates you have so we can at least get together a meeting, whether it be in Baton Rouge, whether it be
I'm
here.
I'm going to have my secretary to start sending out stuff, and let's do it. You know, you have a network, I have a network. Let's get some of the network.
Let's put them together.
The other thing is, it don't have to be a whole lot of us starting out.
Yeah.
I believe, man, the more people you have starting out, the less you get done.
Look at the two ladies that put together the recall.
There you go, right there.
So, good to hear from you, my friend. I appreciate you picking up the phone, too.
Anytime. You know, I appreciate you. I appreciate your co-host, man. She's on fire. I appreciate you.
I got you, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Y'all be safe.
All right, you too. All right, more coming up, y'all.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. The number of black summer associates at law firms is shrinking to its lowest levels in more than a decade. That's according to a survey by the National Association of Law Placement. And as part of a larger trend across industries, in reaction to a conservative push to end race and gender-based preferences in hiring and in school admissions. I spoke to Bloomberg Equality reporter Jeff Green, who says this decline could be just the tip of the iceberg.
We haven't even begun to see yet the impact of enrollment based on that affirmative action decision. The NLP folks said that's probably not going to show up till maybe next year's class. So you'll have the other side of that ratio affected. The number of black people who were in law school may also be diminishing.
Conservative legal strategist Edward Blum is a name to watch here. He's led several successful initiatives to curb DEI in places like law firms. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
It's deck days at Lowe's, and the savings are stacked. Right now, pros get 15% off all in-stock composite decking from top brands like Trex, TimberTech, and Decorators. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt tool. The deck's stacked in your favor with brands pros trust. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 AM.
Louisiana has one of the highest incarceration rates in the world when adjusted per capita, not to mention its dubious distinction of locking up a higher percentage of its residents than any other state in the entire country. As if not satisfied with that sorry record of infamy, here comes Governor Jeff Landry, our lord of lock 'em up and throw away the key, with a $798 million corrections budget proposal to add even more beds at the state penitentiaries to imprison even more residents. Now, that's an $82 million increase for the correction budget, while at the same time slicing the education budget by $165 million. This makes as much sense as tits on a chicken. Critics opine that it would make far more sense to use that revenue on education and mental health programs. Moreover, it would be less expensive. Here's the breakdown on that. It's costing about $23,000 to $30,000 a year in Louisiana to incarcerate someone, compared to roughly $15,000 a year to educate a student K through 12. Sadly, state taxpayers are spending around $10,000 to $15,000 more a year to keep someone locked up than they spend on a child's public education. And ironically, it's the governor who's adding to prison overcrowding via his harsh so-called prison reform policies. The number of prisoners paroled during Landry's tenure has declined to its lowest in 20 years. Critics say it's because parole decisions are not made by the parole board anymore, but are being made according to computerized algorithms. You know, there's an old saying about programming computers: garbage in, garbage out. My message to the governor and his supermajority conservative GOP allies in the legislature is stop treating people like garbage, damn it. This is Norman Robinson, Off the Top.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
This is Andronica Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Here we go.
The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. Gerard Stevens with you. Attorney Suzette Bagnaris with you. And Tony, you're on line one. What's going on?
Hey, Gerard.
Get what you say.
You hear me?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Doing fine. I was on Friday with Attorney Bagnaris, so she may recognize my voice when we talked about it. The question, I got a couple of things. Bear with me. She asked me why did I become an independent rather than a Democrat and stuff. I explained that to her last week. I won't get into that other than saying as an independent, it gave me a choice to see who I was going to vote for. I wanted to vote it in the U.S. Senator's race, but all of it was all Republicans. So I was able to, choose the option to vote on that Republican Party ballot. Okay, so I did that for Cassidy, but I was still able to all the local people that I was concerned about, all the local judgeships, John Fuller, everything that's going on in Orleans. So that was my purpose for doing that, because if I would have done it as a single Democrat, that's the only thing that I could vote for. I don't agree with that voting system anyway. All that stuff needs to be thrown out. Anybody should be able to vote for anybody that they want. List everybody on the ballot. It's what I say about that. And that's all I'll say about that. Number two is this thing we talked about. There was a talk about the recall. Okay. Now, I talked to a white lady this morning on my newspaper, for newspapers in Algiers. Okay. She said she's one of my customers, said she is willing to sign the recall, and many of them are willing to sign the recall, but they don't know where to go. Or the places that they say in Algiers that they want them to go, they're not comfortable about going there. So my question is this: why isn't there?
Wait a minute. Why are they not comfortable?
They say, I'm just, I guess, because the locations of where they are, in old Algiers and some of the depressed areas and stuff. You got homeless people and people on the street walking up and down all the time. Okay.
I bet you got that in her neighborhood too.
Okay. Well, she knows this lady's in Algiers Point, so let's go with that.
Well, I can tell you, I went to the one in Algiers, and there were a number of people who didn't look like us that were standing in that line. I went. It's broad daylight hours. They're operating. There's a lot of people standing out there. It's a safe environment, in my opinion, because I personally went there. So I have not been yet, but I plan to go and everything to do the voting. My question is this: when they did this mayoral recall, they put Eileen and Noonan out in front of this recall effort against the mayor. Again, it's great if we can find out, know who the organizers are, and that they get FaceTime on television and all that. But the Republicans and these people have already bought up all the spots, even for our Democratic candidates for public office. All the spots are gone, so we don't get a chance to hear them unless, unless they're on WBOK or other places like that, or New or Norman show. So what I'm asking is, on the recall effort, we don't know if we have the financing that they had, that all these big shadow government people who live in Audubon Place, who was putting all this money into the mayor's recall, that they're doing it for the Landry recall. Therefore, there are no signs around. Everything is just word of mouth. It's not out there at all. So when they put it out, and we've already announced, we talked about that last week, the Republicans are already preparing for a response, and they're going to flood the TV and the markets with, don't sign the recall, don't sign the recall.
where we have a number of people who are not like us, who want to sign that recall. So my question is, this stuff is getting that information out. I don't know who the donors are because everything is driven by finances and stuff to be able to fund this type of recall and effort. It has to happen. It just cannot happen just in the black community.
So let me tell you this, Tony. So anybody that wants to give money to the recall, they can. The ladies just said that they're not going to ask for it. I think it's a mistake. But I mean,
it is a mistake.
There's a donate section on their website.
But there is a donate section on the website and a lot of folks are just asking, what do you need? And they're going to tell them. They got scared because they didn't want to take somebody's money. So they said, it'd be better if y'all donate stuff that we need, like paper, clipboards.
We don't have the big backing. We need a big backing of some organization that's able to do just like they did the mayor's recall. So, I know they can't handle that.
No, they had a $1.5 million man that wanted to get the mayor because of personal reasons. My deal is this. This has been, to me, interesting because we're seeing all folks from all genres, from all races, standing in that line. It ain't just black folks. And honestly, to get the number that you're going to need just as many white folks as black folks.
Absolutely right. We need everybody who is willing to sign that. You know what I'm saying? But we need more. I think we need more locations. We need more signage. There is nothing pretty much in Algiers. Nothing. I go around every morning, throw papers every morning. There, but when the recall was happening, it was flooded with signs all in the medians and everything else and on social media. There's just no discussion. There's no talk about it. And I understand it because it's a finance issue, and we don't have, the finance and the backing of somebody of some.
So if you got a yard sign costs you what, $4? Yeah. If you have a yard sign and you put it in somebody's yard, those signs cost you maybe $4.
Right. You can put them in your yard, depending on where you are. I'm in the HOA, so they're not going to allow that. So, and
who's not going to allow that?
The HOA and stuff, in my area and stuff like that, it's not going to allow stuff like that. We've already broached that. There are some issues and stuff around neighborhoods.
You don't have to put it in your yard. Go find another place to put it.
Right, signs and all this other kind of stuff like that here. You can probably put it out there without it being noticed, but when somebody who don't agree with it don't notice, they're going to go out and they're going to pick it up.
Look, when somebody's running for political office, you take a chance by putting a sign out somewhere, and you might come back the next day and it's not there anymore. That's just a part of it that somebody don't agree with you, and they don't and they don't want somebody else to do it. Take the chance and do it. And guess what? It might be out there the next day. And if it's not, replace it with another sign. That's all. I can't stop what I can't see.
We all have to do our part to make this a successful effort. So as for me and Gerod, we have been utilizing the microphone in order to disseminate information and to tell people why it's important.
Now, as far as
each of us can do something to help get the word out. You can post on your Facebook. You can post on your Instagram. Right. You can, if you can't post in your yard. For those who can post in their yard, post in your yard. Make a banner. Put it on your house. Everybody can do something. Everybody can call everybody who's in their phone and ask them to please go out and sign the recall petition.
Tony.
There's something all of us can do. And if the very least you can do is drop water off at one of these sites for these ladies or bring them some paper, just do your part. Everybody do your part.
If I could get the number of people that were online this weekend posting about the Zulu president election, king election, just imagine how many folks we could get that could be a little bit more, because this is statewide, and you do see it happening in Algiers because they do it over there by Gwanji's building, right off of Landry and Newton Street. Is that Newton?
Yeah, I know.
Newton.
Yeah, I know where it is.
Newton?
Yeah, Newton Street. I know. Yeah, I know exactly where it is. Uh-huh. Yeah, I know where it is.
1529 Newton Street.
Now I'm looking dead at it, asking, is that?
I plan to sign it, but I want to make sure I get a chance to talk to it.
So the other part
I
of
don't
this,
see the monumental effort that was going into the mayoral recall.
Okay, so Tony, do this.
Into what's going on now.
Here's another solution for you. So if your white friend is saying, I don't feel comfortable going over there, why don't you invite them to go with you? They seem comfortable enough to talk to you.
Okay.
And invite them to go with you. So you'd be like, oh, just come on. You'll see. Nothing going to happen.
Okay.
I saw a lot of white people there when I was there. They were in a line with me.
I saw a lot of white people over at, what's that, the chicken place? On
no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Mm-hmm. No doubt at all.
And then the other thing,
got
too,
people
that we
that
have,
strong to do that.
They got new locations of folks that are putting it together. Even my friend putting one together or helping out and volunteering with the ones over on the North Shore.
And I see this as a bigger effort than the mayoral race. This is statewide.
Right.
They have locations all over the state.
Yep.
Yeah, I just hope it's, that I'm just hoping and praying for the success and everything else. And I just know I wanted to get in and talked about that with some of the people that I ran into Algiers Point and stuff like that who are not familiar with WBOK and things like that. So, and I talked to them about that and stuff as well. Where are the locations and all this, so.
Now, if they're not familiar with us, it's because they don't want to be.
Well, a lot of them they just spit up and they just don't know how to respond.
Let me
tell you this last thing. I want to write an editorial so bad in the commentary of the paper, so bad. But I said to myself, too many of these people who know me, and so I'm afraid that I might jeopardize my job. Even I know how to write and be subtle and everything else and be supportive and all that too. I just did not want to bring attention to myself who do this type of work that I'm doing and everything else.
So what's your commentary about?
And stuff. It was just going to be about it was going to be about the voting process, my experience with the voting process, my frustration with state, local government and everything else, all of the changing of the goalpost and all of it, just a variety of information that I wanted.
And you were going to offend who?
Commentary. I was going to put it in the paper in the commentary session.
No. I said, and you were going to offend who?
Well, I wasn't going to. I didn't say the word offend, but somebody may not.
You might as well had you said
they
were going to be that, and you were scared about your job, right?
Right.
So
exactly.
that would be something that's offensive.
Or threatening, right? Exactly. To my position and what I have here, to my livelihood.
Man, don't walk like that.
That's the biggest concern. Yeah.
Don't walk like that.
I'm trying not to. Yeah, I know. I'm trying not to walk like that because my my family and stuff back in in Birmingham and stuff participated in all that, but at that time you banded together and stuff, and you weren't by yourself. People walked. We're not going to catch the bus. We're going to walk. We're not going to use public transportation. It was a common goal in mind. Everything that you guys talked about earlier today. Everything was a common goal, and that's what we need. We need an agenda. I appreciated the NAACP and what they had to say, but again, they're also not only financially strapped, but getting a younger generation to join the NAACP as well.
Well, I'd like to hear a better plan. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Right, and so. All those things, we need to do. That needs to happen and stuff like that, and I'm on board.
All right, Tony.
I'm just soul searching about doing the commentary. That's all. I haven't ruled it out.
Go and do it, and then call me and tell me where it's located so we can read it on the air too.
Good enough.
All right, brother. Good to talk to you. Thank you, Tony. All right, everybody, hold on. We got to take a break. We'll take the break here. We'll come back. Final break of the day right here on WBOK.
AURN News.
This morning, President Trump posted on X that he's announcing he is appointing Bill Pulte, who is the current director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency and chairman of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, as acting director of national intelligence, placing Tulsi Gabbard. And this fits a clear pattern with President Trump, rewarding loyalty and not expertise. Pulte spent the last year doing Trump's dirty work, using the power of a housing regulator to file criminal mortgage fraud referrals against the president's political enemies, including Senator Adam Schiff, New York Attorney General Letitia James, and Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. Now he will oversee all 18 U.S. intelligence agencies. The question now is what happens with someone who's already using regulatory power to target black women and political opponents to get access now to the NSA, the CIA, and the FBI. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
Hey, this is D. Riley from the 90s Hits R&B Jams. Make sure you listen to WBOK 1230 AM every Saturday night from 7 until 9 p.m. I'll be giving you the best R&B jams from the 90s. That's right, all your favorites and more. With me, D. Riley, your host of the 90s Hits, right here on WBOK 1230 AM, or listen online at WBOK1230.com. WBOK, the station you listen to longer.
The Ron Kelly Show. Real talk, bold truth. Tune in for your weekly dose of unapologetic conversations that don't dodge the truth or dilute the message. Stay informed on the issues that matter most on The Ron Kelly Show. Every Monday at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM.
When you talk, we listen. WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Now headed to Governor Jeff Landry's desk will reduce the number of Orleans Parish Criminal Court judges from 12 to 9.
I'm very concerned about what's going to happen if we take 100% of the caseload and divide that amongst fewer judges. I think it is going to see significant delays.
The original version of Senate Bill 217 would eliminate the most recently elected judges based on seniority. But after a late-night amendment to the bill, it would now remove Judge John Fuller, Judge Simone Levine, Judge Rhonda Good Douglas, while preserving Judge Leon Roche, despite Douglas having more seniority.
Well, I still have a lot of questions on how that happened.
Jesse Manley of Court Nola says the move could lead to more delays in court cases.
I think that the people who are going to suffer from that are going to be the defendants who are waiting on their day in court and the crime victims who are waiting for justice.
Judge Roche's office says he disagrees with the change, but remains committed to running an effective court and applying the law fairly. Senator Jay Morris, who authored the bill, argues New Orleans has too many judges related to its shrinking population and changing caseloads, costing taxpayers too much money.
New Orleans area has twice as many judges as any other judicial district per capita. We've never right-sized things since Katrina hit.
I know from being a civil trial judge for 10 years that Orleans has some of the busiest courts in the state.
But opponents like former Louisiana Supreme Court Chief Justice Burnett Johnson says the city's hefty workload tells a different story.
There are courts in New Orleans where judges are doing multi-days of jury trials with multi-defendants and complex issues.
With the changes sent to the governor's desk, it's unclear whether he plans to sign it, after calling the proposal ridiculous and saying they're taking the best judge off the bench regarding Douglas. We've reached out to the governor to see if he will veto the bill, but have not heard back. Kyra Naveau, WWL, Louisiana.
Well, I also reached out to those judges who are possibly about to lose their seats. Judge Levine responded in a statement right here on your screen saying, quote, "I speak for myself and not the larger court. It is my privilege to serve as judge in criminal district court." Now, the dismantling of our criminal court is neither transparent nor is it unfair to us as a city, and it will create a tremendous burden upon the citizens of New Orleans. Now, I also reached out to Judge Fuller and Judge Douglas, but I have not heard back at this time.
All right, that comes from Channel 4. We appreciate them for letting us use their audio and video there. Getting rid of some judges seems to be another story that we already knew, but the new added attraction, like it's going to be a space camp or something, is that they're even trying to play with the judges that are going to be removed. You hear a certain number of judges are going to be removed, then the next week you hear it's another set.
There's some backdoor dealing going on.
It's some real backdoor dealing
with who's staying
going
and
on.
who's going.
And what I'm hearing, it ain't got nothing to do with them. It's got a lot to do with us that's making these decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. And they seem to be in a position where they're all in the lion pit and they're pushing each other closer to the lion to save themselves.
Now, the standard is supposed to be last hired would be the first fired. And I'm trying to figure out how Rhonda Good Douglas got even in that number.
No, because she was elected in 2020, and there's been people who have been elected behind her. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I really do think there's a lot of backdoor dealing going on, and we're throwing each other under the bus right now. We're just really living in sad times, and it's just not a time to be silent.
But you said something that is
It's not
pertinent.
a time to be complacent. It's not a time to be fearful about what your neighbor is going to think. We are truly in a war for our survival right now.
But we cutting our own necks.
We are, we've been put in a position
where you either fight,
where our backs are against the wall and we coming out fighting like a cornered cat.
Yep.
Okay? And that's kind of where we are. And there's nothing new about that. That's been historic. That's happened historically in the Black community. Unfortunately, we're in that position. But what I'm trying to tell people is every day, I don't have to be here. Okay? Every day I come here volunteering, let me say that, and putting my livelihood on the line to speak truth to power. There are people who don't like sometimes what I have to say on this radio. I saw some of them at the Zulu elections this weekend.
What had happened?
Some of them walked right past me because they didn't want to speak.
Who?
You know who. You know who. But here's the thing. I'm going to continue to do it because we are in some very serious times. And it should not just be me and Gerod sitting here talking truth to power. Everybody needs to be talking truth to power. I don't care if you're just talking truth to power to the people under your own roof, to the people who are in on your own block, the people who are in your own neighborhood, the people who are on your own job, the people who are in your own church. Everybody has a responsibility right now. It's an all hands on deck situation right now. And if you don't believe me, every day we're looking at NOLA.com, and every day the hands of time are being turned back. And if you don't watch out, we're all about to be disenfranchised, and our children are going to be picking cotton in the field. Y'all think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. In all seriousness, conservatives developed Project 2025, a detailed, coordinated roadmap for power, policy, courts, education, and government. Meanwhile, Black America can't seem to get Project 25 cents together. We can't seem to develop an agenda that's coherent to carry us forward, to help us survive this foolery that we're dealing with every day. Other groups organize strategically for decades. They build think tanks, they build legal pipelines, media ecosystems, school boards, judicial strategies, economic networks. And why are we still reacting crisis to crisis instead of building a sustained blueprint for collective power? Why is it that now our backs are against the wall? So now we're like, ooh, we need an agenda. We needed an agenda 3 years ago. While these people would develop Project 2025, we should have been developing our own Project 2025. Now we're behind the 8 ball trying to catch up. That's part of our problem. That is part of our problem. So I guess since the NAACP, the Urban League, and everybody else who has alphabet soup behind their name can't develop an agenda, Suzette in her spare time is going to draft an agenda, and I'll send it to the NAACP and the Urban League and Black media to try to get something going.
When can we expect it?
Well, I guess in my spare time while I'm fighting Goliath on every front.
You ain't
in
got
this
no
city of the
spare
wall.
time. That's why I'm like, when you got spare time.
Nobody else seems to be drafting it.
Okay. All right. We got to go. We got to get out of here. We're gone for today. We'll be back on tomorrow. Make sure that you check us out. Sorry we didn't get to everybody. But, you know, if you need a copy of this sermon,
it'll be on Facebook.
It'll be on Facebook right
there. Share it a few hundred times.
Hallelujah.
Do us that solid. And maybe that's how you can help us today.
All right. We got to go, y'all. That's going to wrap things up for us. We appreciate you for being here on today. Let's see you tomorrow.
Toot toot.